Well, hello. I want to welcome you to Color Lab Cosmetics. My name is Nancy Ogden West. I'm the Director of Business Development and Education. I thought this would be a fun little webinar to do. It's the 4 trends that are emerging from the quarantine. You know, a lot of women have not been doing much with makeup since they went into quarantine, but trust me, everything I have been reading out there, they are ready to get back into it. And our services are some of the first services that they're looking for. Treatments, makeup, and they need guidance because they can't have testers any place in any of the other locations that are out there. Also hair. So we really are in a good position for things that are happening. But these are some fun things that I think you can share with your clients. Take this presentation that I'm doing and go ahead. I'll be sending this out to you. Go ahead, copy it and do it with your clients at the same time. You could do this over Facebook, you could do it over Zoom, and just have some fun with them. Maybe have a little cocktail hour to be with it at the same time. Who knows? Just be creative with it. So these 4 trends that we see are emerging from the quarantine are, first of all, block colors, and that's on the eyes. Next is bold and vinyl. That's all about the lips. Silky skin is all about the look and the finish of the skin. And then soft and berry has to do with our blush and our bronzers. So let's go in first of all to block colors. So this trend really can come across in a few different ways. So first of all, I did my eyes in the block colors today. So as you can see, that it's a very bold color direction with it, and you're not really blending your colors much in between. It's almost like blocks of color when you are putting them on. So it's like you're cutting them out and you're pasting them into an area. It was kind of hard for me to get used to that when I was first starting to do it because I was over blending the colors together. So you definitely want to have the variation with it. Also, the second way that you can do this is that you can just go in and do a really strong liner and maybe go in and block out the outer corner of that liner with it. But it's all about intense shades. So right here, I have a palette that I put together that has some really bright, vibrant shades in it. And that's what I've used on my eyes to do this today. So they're going to be bright shades in pinks and blues, yellows, reds, rusty browns that have more life to them, things like that. So here's a few of the colors that I've just pointed out to you with it, and something you're going to love. We are doing a sale this week for Monday through Friday that you can get 20% off and all of the ready-wear eyeshadows, blushers, bronzers, lipsticks, and glosses. So you know what? Now is a great time to go in and refurbish all your products that you have there, and bring your inventory back up. So here's some ideas. And again, like I said, you're going to be getting a copy of this. So this will give you some ideas to go by. As you can see on the bottom left, they've really done the strength of the blocked eye design with that. And then the others are just a little bit softer. But you may find you might want to do a little blending for the client that maybe isn't quite as comfortable with that strength of no fading in between each area. Still wrapping color around the eyes, underneath the eye, okay, darkening on the outside, lightening on the inner corner. You can see the combination on the bottom left. Look at how they have a yellow, a little bit of a green, a blue, then they've got like a violet through the crease of the eye. Now, any of those of you that are into our custom blend system with the mineral powders, if you would have received the saturated colors and the matte color adjusters in that system, those are perfect for doing these types of looks also if you have the custom blend system. Again, this is showing blocking, but not just with squares, with more geometric design going to it. And then here's a look with stronger eyeliners. So you can see the top liner over on the left with the blue, how they've taken and squared the corner out. Underneath the eye with the strength of liner on it, and then doing a very exaggerated cat eye in red. So remember, with these colors that I've just showed you, all you need to do, I can't get that open. All you need to do is go in with our Stuck On You that comes in the little dropper bottle that you would wet your brush on, and all of those colors can become eyeliners for you at the same time. Now, the next trend that we're seeing is with the lips. And you're either going to see colors that are in more of a sheer tint or big and bold. So that's why it's bold or it's vinyl. So when you're looking for those bold colors that are out there on the lips, they're going to be your reds, your oranges, your pink tones, or you're going to go to the totally opposite spectrum of this, and that is the gloss lip. As you can see, my lips are quite glossy, and this is called the vinyl lip, and it can be in more sheer tints of color. So for those of you that know me, you know I'm usually in a strong, bold lip color. You know, I love my lipsticks, but today I use one of our glosses, and you'll see it next. I love this gloss. It is a tint, and for me, somebody who normally always wears lipstick, I find this is something I feel even comfortable with. It gives me that little bit of color that I feel I need, but it gives me that real vinyl look on the lips. That's very, very important. So again, with my custom blenders out there that have the lipstick system, you want to do some more of those sheer colors, but you want to get a little more kick and payoff to stay onto the lips. Think about using just your sheers in there, and you know, and going with those that have more sheerness to them and mixing them together, and that's what's going to work for you. So there's no in between. It's either that glossy, little more sheerness to the color, or it's that bold color. So these are some lip colors that I pulled for you that are going to be great, that are going to be into your pinks, your reds, your orange tones. And the color lip gloss right there in the center, I'm No Angel, is what I have on right now. So when you look at it, it looks quite dark, but it goes on very sheer. It's a sheer berry tone is what you're seeing with it. And then of course, all of our natural lip glosses are perfect to create this look. So you see your dominant red, your pink, and your orange for those lips. And then we go into something that's softer and has a little bit more sheerness and definitely has that shine to it at the same time. Remember, lip glosses come back, and it's as popular as ever. In fact, Lancome re-released their Juicy Tubes that they had out quite a few years ago. They brought that right back in because it is a trend that's hitting at this moment. The next trend is silky skin. Okay, now silky skin gives you that healthy, glowing, hydrated, radiant, natural look to the skin. And I tell people, natural skin does not have a flat, matte look to it. Good, healthy skin has a glow to it. So this creates a really beautiful look on the skin, especially attractive on a more mature client, because as we mature in age, and if our skin starts to dry and dehydrate out, it does become flatter in the way it looks. So if we can add a little bit more of a glow, a little bit more of a dewiness onto the skin, it's going to make that client look more youthful. I speak from experience. So this is kind of a creamy approach to the skin with your makeup. So you always want to start with a nice clean skin. And to create more of a natural glow, it's taking those moisturizers and really massaging them into the skin, working it, just not slapping it on your face and bang, that's it. Go in, do some manipulation, do some circular motion. Don't have too much pressure on your hands, but you want to really work that product into the skin. By doing that, that also brings a little color into the skin, and it creates such a natural, beautiful glow to the skin. At that point, I always like to start with a primer. And you're going to select your primer according to the skin type they have. If their skin is on the drier side, go with the Fringe Benefit. If it's on the oilier side, go with our Sheer Protection Mattifying Primer for the skin. Now, how you're going to do this is you're going to take your foundation and you're going to take the beauty oil, okay? The beauty oil, and sell this to them. I mean, this is gorgeous on the skin. I put it on as a serum after I've cleansed my face, put my other serums on. I will add this after that to add that moisturization into the skin. The other way they can do this is maybe, you know, the skin fluctuates. Maybe they're feeling a little bit drier. Maybe they want to have a little bit more glow on their skin for the day. They can take and add some drops of this into their moisturizer and then put it on at that point also. The other thing with their dew drops, and I've chose the citrine on here to have a golden soft glow into it, is they can also use that later if they want to go in and create more highlighting on the high levels of their face. So they're going to mix all three of those items together, their foundation, their beauty oil, and the dew drops, just one drop of each of the beauty oil and the dew drops, and then apply it. And however they apply, if they apply with a sponge, if they apply with a brush, if they even apply with their hands, okay? Just make sure they're washing their hands before they do something like that. And then for the client that needs a little bit more coverage, they can go around in those areas and just stipple where they want to create a little bit more coverage at that point. From there, then they can go in with concealer and they conceal the areas that they want to block out a little bit more. Well, first of all, it's going to be underneath the eyes. And I personally apply my concealer after my foundations, not before. I'm not choosing a concealer that has a big depth difference from my base color. Okay, so I'm not looking to highlight with my concealer. I'm just looking to block out any discoloration into those areas. But the other places that you might want to put it is right around the nose and the labial fold. Okay, and block out a little coloration if they carry coloration there. Some people might carry a little coloration at the outer corners of their mouth. Maybe they have a little pigment spot here or there. Okay, then I'll just apply that little concealer, tap, tap, tap to blend it out at that point. Now for a client that has oilier skin, you could go in and do a dusting of powder on top of this. Now, if you're going to do that, you want to look at something like our Flawless Finish, which is an HD soft focus powder. It's very delicate, it's very sheer, and it just creates and just softens everything down a little bit. But I do not powder on top of dry skin for this look because I want to keep that moist, dewy look. So these are the products that I'm recommending to create that. First, for your moisturizer, oops, sorry there. For your moisturizer, for your day wear, think about your Au Naturel sunscreen. Now this is a mineral-based sunscreen. This is exactly what they are recommending if you are going to be using a sunscreen and you're going to any ocean area or any water area, because you know they've taken and not let us use a lot of these sunscreens with some certain ingredients in it they find that are affecting the coral in the ocean. So not only does this have your SPF of 20A, but it's got 20% zinc in it, it's got turmeric in it, and vitamin C and E in it. So it's an excellent product, you know, for the skin. So that would be for their day wear. Now, if they're doing this look for night wear, what I'm going to recommend is our Double Bag Beauty Balm Cream. And this, I love this product, first of all. It has so much activity. First, it starts right off. It's got 3 peptides in it that firm and tighten the skin. Then it's got 5 different botanicals in there that calm and soothe the skin. From there, you've got a couple of light lipids, you've got 2 lightening agents in there, and you've got some prickly pear in there, which is a powerful humectant for the skin. So that could be if they're going out for the evening and they're putting their makeup on. And maybe if they want a little more kick out of that, they could go in and take that beauty oil that I've been talking about, add a couple of drops, and then mix that together and put it on their face. One of the formulations of foundation they could work with is the Superior Performance formulation that comes in a large variety of colors. This has a deck of calming botanicals in it and antioxidants. Down on the second row, we have our Mineral Moisture Tint. Now, for those of you who do custom blend, you know I call this an anti-aging formulation. And the reason being is that it's got 2 peptides in there that we know firm and tighten the skin. It's also got your aloe base to it, which we know has a lot of healing qualities to it, and moisturization and hydration in it. It's got copper, magnesium, and zinc in there, which are antioxidants, but they're also firming agents at the same time. And then you've got your vitamins A, C, and E in there, which feed, nourish, and protect the skin. Plus, you've got your sodium PCA in there, which is a humectant for the skin. So that's a great formulation to work with also. Then we got our natural formulation. This is your organic natural base here. Now this also has an aloe base to it. It also has your calming, soothing botanicals in there. It's got natural oils for moisturization, humectants at the same time. So it is designed to help plump the skin and hold moisture into the skin. Now your beauty oil that I was talking about earlier, your beauty oil has 15 different powerful organic oils in it. And one of those oils is a firming agent for the skin. It's called lupin seed in there. So this can be used in a variety of directions, as I talked about earlier. They can put it on by themselves, they can add it into a moisturizer, they can add some into their foundation, okay? So it can work in many, many different areas. And our clients are accustomed to beauty oils. They are huge out in the market right now. So if you're not carrying this product, I really definitely recommend it's something you think about bringing in. From there, we go down to our Drew Drops, and the citrine is the one that I'm talking about with it that we're going to be adding in. And that creates that beautiful light luminescence on the skin. Then I'm recommending for our concealer, the Wise Disguise. This is the one that comes in the tube, as you see. It's a beautiful creamy concealer. It really creates quite a bit of coverage. So I do tell people when they're using that to apply a small amount. I know when I first started working with the product, I wasn't sure if I liked it or not, but I was using it like other concealers out there, and you don't need to use that much of this product. A little bit goes a long ways and really creates incredible coverage for you. And then lastly, if you're looking for a powder and you're looking for a powder that creates some dimension on the skin as far as illumination to it, if you haven't worked with our reflective finishing powder, I definitely recommend you bring that in also. It's a beautiful, it has a silky smooth, soft focus to it. It actually defines lines that are on the skin. And it also has a water shuttle time release in it to it with microfilm, so it hydrates the skin. And then it has a diamond complex and diamond peptides in it that penetrate, protect, and also prolong cell function. So it has incredible activity to it, and it looks gorgeous. In fact, I find that on a casual day for me, when I'm not going to wear foundation, that's something that I'm going to just dust onto my face. I'm not a big powder wearer, but I love this product. And it does not create a matte or flat look on the skin when you work with it. So thinking about the look that you want to achieve with this, you can see it just has a beautiful, soft, creamy, little bit of a dewy finish to the skin. And then we go into soft and berry. This is about bronzers, and bronzers are going much softer. We're not doing the strong bronzers. We're not going and doing the contouring on the face that we have been doing there for years. It's just adding soft dimension. So I may take a bronzer and take it across the top of my forehead on the side planes, bring it in through the temple, wrap it underneath the cheekbone a little bit, throw a little bit on the top of my nose, right here through the front of my chin also. But you know, bronzer is also great if you want to go in and you want to shade out the jawline area, and that's going to go back underneath and stay under the bone, go from the bottom of the chin back to the throat. So it widens out here and then tapers. The key to do that, though, is you always have and want to stay under and behind that bone, because if you go up on the side of the jawbone, then what you're actually doing is you're cutting the bone down. And with our blushers, the one that I like to work with quite a bit is our Duo brusher, because one side has luminescence to it, the other side is matte with that. The other thing that's very important right now is you're going to see blushers in a berry tone that just create this soft sun kiss look, kind of a light flushing on the face with it. Berry being the most popular, and cream blushers are huge right now. And it's very easy when you're working with cream blushers to work on building the color up as you're working with it. So blushers, you've got your duo bronzer that I talked about. I also brought in a couple other with the sun drenched for a lighter gold. For a client who carries more depth into their skin, they might want to look at the Barely Natural one there. And then the Barely Berry blusher is the one that I do recommend that you want to work with this. But also, you may find, oh, I'm sorry, the Barely Natural is another one right there on the top. And then down on the bottom, a couple of the blushers, because they want to have a little bit more life to them, are going to be Blissful and Pushover with that. So you can see it has that creamy little dewiness to the skin, and then look how it's coming in into the face area a little bit farther. Okay, so hang on one second here. So what I want to show you is the block look with the eyes. So what I did in my eyes is I went in and I wanted a little bit more illumination right here on the very inner corner of my eye. So I went in with one of my eyeshadows. It was Luminous, that light in color, okay, like a soft beige, almost white or cream in coloration with that. So I put that on first, and then I went in and laid down the yellow. And I just kind of stippled that on. You're going to get more deposit with your color when you stipple it in. From there, I went into the violet, okay, the vibrant violet, and I blocked that right above the center of the iris. And then right offside the center of the iris, I went in with the vibrant blue right through that area. Then I took Fresco. Now, I love Fresco because it is a rusty color. It's this one right here. It's a rusty color, so I've used the yellow, I've used the violet, I used the blue, and then the Fresco right over here is through the frontal bone, the socket, and just lifted up on the bone a little bit. And then I went into the vibrant red, and I put the vibrant red right here on the inner fourth section, okay, of the eye. Now, if we look at this, it's almost taking the eye and breaking it down into its 7 planes. When I talk about planes, I'm talking about how the lid and the eye moves and curves. So your first plane is where my yellow is. Your second plane sits right above the iris of the eye with the diagonal split slightly when you're rounding the eye, not a straight line and block line like this is. Third plane is right here at the outside of the iris and out. Your fourth plane is your entire socket, and then from the frontal bone area up, you have your fifth plane, your sixth plane, and your seventh plane right over here. So doing this block design, you could go in and go with the planes of the eye and put a different color in each one and just be so on target with what we're seeing with this. So from here, then I took the Fresco and I wrapped it down underneath the eye, widening it just a little bit underneath the eye area. Then I took that intense blue, I also wrapped that down and brought that in closer to the base of the lash line. From there, I picked up my slant angle brush, my brow welt brush, and I went into jet black. So it's just a black matte eyeshadow. Using the slant angle, go in and I press that black right against the base of the lash line on the top and right underneath the eye. So it's really tight, but it gives that definition and creates that darkness right at the base of the lash line for you. And then I went in and took just that little bit of blue, a little bit closer at that point. So that's working with creating the blocked eyes. Now, as I was talking about for the foundation, now remember, we're not going to be able to be dipping our brushes into things right now. So I've got a stainless steel palette. I've actually had this for many, many years. I got it, first of all, when I was working, I worked clinical for many years, and I was affiliated with the dermatology department, and I found a book that they had with tools in it. And so I found it from there, and that's where I got this. But I also have found since then that dentists use things like this at the same time. So what you would do to create your foundation is go in, got a brand new bottle here. Let me get that pumped up. Okay. So you're going to go in, you're going to put your foundation down on your palette. Then we're going to take our beauty oil and we're just going to do 1 drop of beauty oil into it. And then I'm going to go into my dewdrops. And I'm going to put a drop of dewdrops into that. And then you're just going to go and you're going to stir it up and mix it. And then however you apply, if you use a sponge, a brush, you know, whatever you're using, not your hands. You don't want to be applying with your hands on another client. And I'm not using any of the beauty blenders because you cannot sanitize those. I am back to the wedge sponges that I can throw away when they're done, when I'm done working with that client. Now, what I like to do with those wet sponges is I like to wet them down and then go in and squeeze out as much water as I can, and then I'll take a paper towel and I'll squeeze it into that paper towel. I just want that sponge to have a softer, more pliable feel to it so it doesn't absorb as much product and it's easier to work with. It's a little softer at that point. Next, when we're going into working with doing our blush onto the skin and working with that cream blush, again, I'm going to go back to my palette here. And I'm going to go in with my berry blush and I'm going to scrape some of that product off. And then I'm going to blend this onto my palette, okay? I just don't want to have a chunk of color there. From there, I'm going to pick up, and I'm just using a blush brush, and I'm going to get a little product on it. Now, when you're thinking about this, what I want the client to do, because this is going to go onto the apple of cheek, have the client give you a smile, brush it on, and take it right back to the hairline. And look at the beautiful soft glow. Look at how it just adds that little color right into the center of the face there. And I like using a blush brush to do this with over my sponge. I just feel I have more control of the color going on. I might put a little down the tip of my nose. Also, where I like to add a little additional color when I'm working is right across the hairline area, okay? So it doesn't look like I just have blush on my cheeks. I'm gonna go back in with my finger and blend that just a touch. Now, of course, if I was doing this on a client, this is where I would be using a sponge on them just to soften that down. Now, if your client wants to see a little more indentation at the base of the cheekbone, you could always go in with a powder blush and take and put your powder blush right through that area. And then just changing my lip color. I love this color. Going in to something, and I realized I picked up the wrong color here. A berry tone, but again, it can be pinks, it can be reds, it can be oranges, colors like that, something that has life to it. So I just thought it was a really fun direction, something that I wanted to share with you, something that I thought would be fun to do for your clients at the same time. Now, remember, as I said at the very beginning, we are giving you this week, Monday through Friday, the 13th through the 21st, 20% off on all of our eyeshadows, our blushers, our bronzers, our lipsticks, and our lip glosses. So I know we haven't been doing a lot with makeup, with everything going on, but our clients are ready for it. And coming to us as professionals, when you are working with it, you're going to be scraping your products off, putting them onto a palette and working that way. You are not going to be dipping your brushes into your powder at this point. We may go back to that, and remember, sanitizing and cleaning those tools all the time is of the utmost importance. But in our environment being different than a store where a lot of people are coming in and touching products, and you still want to have it, they can't touch the product at this point, but they still want to see it. That's one of the big things in one of the articles that I read. You know, will clients be coming in? Yes, they're going to be looking for more direction at this point on selecting colors because they don't have the opportunity to get in and play with them like they did in the past. So I hope you enjoyed this program. It was just kind of a fast, little fun webinar that I thought I would put together. And we will be mailing this out to you. Okay, so you will have it and use it. Okay, take Color Lab off the beginning, take it off the end, you know, and use the slides or copy that what I've got on the slides and put them on your own slides. Okay, just to show it, to be able to work with the clients. So thank you for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I had fun putting it together, and I had fun doing my makeup like this for a change, because those of you who know me, you know that I'm usually in a little softer makeup. I'm not as strong with my pigment colors, but I don't know, I feel full of life and energy right now. So you have a great day. Again, thank you so much for being with me today.